Awesome. So have you introed crew goals, I'm guessing?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking, we just want to make it a fun, so we're calling it crew goals, which is the goals
of the crew.
Yeah, of our crew. And basically why we want to do that is because there are going to be some goals that we're setting that actually I guess require us to be sharing stories of things that are happening in the life of our church. Hello.
Hey, I was right. Yeah. Is there?
There are plenty of seats around. Thanks, Josh. I think that would be everyone. Yeah, so why we are putting a hashtag to it is that every now and then maybe we'll use Facebook or Instagram, and as we kind of tell stories of things that are happening in the life of our church, we can just remember that that's really the purpose. Not every one of our goals is about, X amount of people or numbers and all that kind of stuff. We really do want to tap into stories of things that are happening in the life of our church. So if you ever do have a good story to share, share it and hashtag it crew goals, and good fun. So Beck's going to be taking the first lot.
Awesome, and we're going to flip our cool things around. We've had some printing difficulties, so that's bluegrass right there.
Sweet. I like bluegrass.
Awesome. All right, so one of our goals that we've created is that, and it's a really funny, obvious type one, but is that people leave more encouraged when they, sorry, that really put me off. So they come in and they leave more encouraged than they did when they came in. And so, like I said, this seems like a really obvious one, especially for a church, but I think sometimes we can take this for granted if we're not conscious of it through, whether it's our interactions with people or whether it's more of task-related roles and things like that, just to always be conscious of it. There's just such a powerful thing in Christians gathering together and being able to encourage each other. And I know so many times where people have come into church, have come into an experience, and they've actually met with people and just felt so loved. And the person interacting with them wasn't aware that they just had the worst week of their lives. Somebody they loved had passed away, or they lost a job that they were really relying on. But if we can all carry the spirit of just encouraging people, we never know what courage and hope we're going to place in people to then go out on their Monday and go and face whatever mountain that they're facing at the moment. So that's one of the goals we have set, and how we're going to measure that is through stories like what Nate was talking about, and obviously visitors coming back. Because when you enjoy a place and when you're feeling encouraged and hope is being put into you, you're going to come back to that, obviously. So we'll measure that by visitor retention. The second goal. Are you going to rip these off? Yay! Dun dun dun. Cool. So second goal, people are connected with and loved. Again, this is one of those that is quite obvious for people at church. This is why we exist, so people can feel the love of God, experience it. But this one isn't just for our new people. This extends to our family member. And from the youngest person to the oldest person, our goal is to connect with them. And by connect, we mean meaningful connections. So someone can have how many meaningful connections?
Person to come back needs to have made 7 meaningful connections before they will decide to make that their home. That's just statistically speaking.
Yeah, and I love how they use the word meaningful. So it's not just, hey, I got that person's phone number, or we talked about something for 2 seconds and then I wanted to leave the conversation, whatever. But it's meaningful connections and people are feeling loved. And again, we're going to measure that by people coming back.
So how are we going to do that?
So how are we going to connect people and...
No. How are we talking about the measure?
What do you mean?
I think, so one of the things that we will do on maybe a Sunday debrief or something like that,
yes.
We will highlight things like stories, so we'll give a bit of time. I know a debrief at the moment is a bit of more of where we're going for lunch, and that will still continue. That's still really important.
It's necessary.
But we will also talk about, hey, if anyone's got any great accounts of a person that's come in that has been really encouraged and they're okay with us sharing, tell us a story, and we'll also say so-and-so came back. And so when we say so-and-so came back, it's not just cool, but it's that, yes, that's something that we wanted to see, that's something that's very
something
important.
we celebrate, that's right. Fantastic.
Next one?
Yeah, go for it. Okay, our next goal, well not next goal, another one of our goals to do with the Sunday experience is obviously the goal of having people make decisions for Christ, and we put that as decisions/responses to the salvation invitation. So again, this is quite an obvious one, but I just missed my place. So with this one, it's super exciting though, because with this we've attached baptisms to it. So more than making decisions or responding to a salvation invitation on a Sunday, which is fantastic, and that definitely is the first indicator for us to know where that person is on their journey. But from there, what we want to do is actually measure this by baptisms. So, because we, just through experience and stuff like that, we do know that sometimes it can be an emotional decision that people make. You know, they'll, again, like they've had the worst week or whatever, and they really felt that sense of hope, or that, they were encouraged and things like that. So they made an emotional decision. But so we can, grow strong Christians and get them to that place of baptism, that really symbolises that they actually do want to follow Christ, and that it is a solid decision that they've made. So we are going to primarily measure that with baptisms, but also we will be looking for those stories, and our Sunday stats will let us know as well, you know, we saw 2 hands go up or whatever. So definitely stats do play a part, but our goal would be the baptisms, so which is super exciting. The next goal, and this one's really simple, easy, is to assimilate new people. So that basically means having a new person come in and then eventually become a part of our church. You know, they're serving, they're active, part of a lift group. So from that place of beginning to a part of the family. And a way that we're going to measure this is to have people sign up for the city. Now we've put a bit of a parameter, not really, like a deadline type thing on it, which is by the second time that people have come for an experience. So generally we know that by the third time somebody comes, they are committed, they're wanting to come on a regular basis, but we thought by the third time they could have actually missed quite a bit. So by the second time that they've come, it would be one of our responsibilities to connect them to the city. And another way we can measure this one as well over time. So that would be the signing them up for the city would be a day-to-day type way of measuring it. But then over time we can actually calculate the percentage of sign-ups onto the city. Would show us how many people we are actually getting from that point A to point B, if that makes sense. Cool. I think that's all.
And that one's really important because it's not just leaders pushing people to get it signed up, but maybe we need to get it a little bit more into our language as we are chatting to people. Hey, have you signed up for the city yet? Have you gone on it? Have you registered for it? And let people know as well, when they sign up and they fill up the information, if they do include their address with it, we do send them a $5 coupon from Ants in Your Pants, which is great coffee. Or you can get the $5 to get a tea if you really want to. Even though
Don't waste it.
What?
Ants in Your Pants. It's a coffee shop.
Yeah, it's a great
really
coffee
good.
shop. It's really fun. The guy who started up Muzzbuzz, actually the starter of Muzzbuzz is really crap coffee and he wanted to go back to his love. And so he set up this roasting company, and that's why we got Ants in Your Pants.
Yeah.
Really, really cool place, and they've given us, they're such a great place, they gave us the first 10 coupons free. So they basically gave us $50.
Yeah.
which doesn't sound that much, but for us it's cool. It's really good. And then from then on we got a partnership and you'll see what happens. So make sure that it is getting to your language. If you don't understand about the city and stuff like that, make sure you talk to someone about it. If you haven't signed up for it, sign up for it.
Yeah,
and
we can do that tonight.
Yeah,
as well.
we will do that right after this.
Yeah.
And you can use one of my laptops to fully set it up. And yeah, that'll be good fun. And yeah, so we, like what I mentioned at the start using it for what it is supposed to be for, to help people connect. So if you've got any needs, like let's say you're moving houses and you need a bit of help, just put it up there. Say, hey, on this date I'm moving houses, would love a couple of hands to help us make that transition, or a friend is sick, family member is sick, they could really use a couple of meals. If we put it up there, it takes away the need to come through us and the processing on our part. It just makes it so much quicker. And that's what this community is for, so that it's not going to get bottlenecked by how busy Beck and myself is. It's really just being put out. And I think the bigger this online community gets, the quicker responses are going to be, and
the
all
more
that
that
kind
we
of
interact
good
as
stuff.
well, it works better. Yeah.
Prayer needs and all that kind of stuff. So that's, in particular, that was focusing on the Sunday experience. And now just moving on to a few different areas of our church's life. We're not going too fast, are we? If you've got any questions after this, you can definitely go through it. But to help you understand, these are the key things that we want to see for this season. It's not saying that this is always going to be the key things, and over time there might be different key things, especially in the things that I'm talking about. The Sunday, I think those things are always stuff that we want to see. But for these next few things, we'll kind of explain it. Yeah, it's a bit seasonal. So with lift groups, our goal is to launch lift groups strong. Lift groups are small groups, and we're launching in February next year. And what we are going to try to attain is a one lift group for every 10 people in our average attendance. That has been shown to be the measure in healthy churches. So that means that right now, over the last couple of weeks, we'll be looking at having 4 groups. Hopefully by Feb, we will be having a greater need for them. So it might be 5, 6, 7 groups, depending on how things go. So that is a ratio. It's something that every term we will have a new measure for that. So we don't really want to set a number right now. We want to get as ready as possible, but the goal is to start up strong and to get everyone into a group as much as we can. So that's lift groups. That's something that we are passionate about. I know there's a bit of a boring one for some, but church finances is actually really important. And just to let you know, our goal is to be healthy and generous. For the next few months, it is a bit of an experiment in where we're at and where we need to be. And so we do want to be very, pragmatic in this current season. So just to let you know what it's going to look like is that we need about $2,000 in our tithe offering giving per week. So you need about $8,000 a month on average, so that all the wages, all the hiring and all the different kind of stuff gets done well. We have had a really good, generous start. So we have put money aside to run stuff like the pop-up carnival, and big events that we have done already. That was all money that we had got ready for that. But in talking to some of the church planters, it would be best not to be tapping into your reserve pool too quickly in case things happen. But we will be making careful investments like the pop-up carnival. We are spending a fair bit of money because we actually do believe that that's something that will help us reach people in the community. And we'll be talking about that in a moment. So, but just to put it forward, we do need about $2,000 a week. Over the last 4 weeks since our launch till now, we are averaging just under that. So about, I think, about 1,900, if not slightly better than that. So we're actually doing okay. We'd like to see that get to the 2,000 mark so that we're actually doing really well. And then in 2006 onwards, what we want to do is that we want to, in a sense, give a tithe of what we are collecting out into the community. That is something that we are still determining how it looks like and what it's going to mean, because some churches take that as community events that we run that comes from that budget, or maybe it is a completely, no, it's not what we run, it goes completely to like compassion or team challenge, or whatever organisation, relief organisations and all that kind of stuff. That's something that we're still talking through and seeing what we feel is that line that we want to draw. But letting you know that 10% at least is going to be going outside of our house. That's something that we want to be doing well. We don't want to become too insular and go, this is this. It's just, for now to the end of the year, we just want to make sure that we are stable enough to be able to do what we want to do next year. Just letting you know that is the plan. And I know some churches collect up a tithe, and then maybe once a month or something they collect another offering for outside the house type event. Just to let you know, the reason why we don't feel to do that is because we want to be conscious that people don't feel budget for money in our church. We're expecting a lot of people that have this really negative view of church as it is. They want my money, they want me to do this, they want me to do that. So I would rather that we really kind of narrow down the times that we need to ask for money, that we need to ask, but to give opportunities for people to give. But they don't take it that way. There we go, talking about money again. I remember at Hillsong Conference this year, the news report was that at conference, all they want to do is take your money. I was like, I was there. I did not feel like they were badgering me for money, but that is what outsiders think, because especially that's what the media puts out there, that churches want your money. So we only want to do one collection a week, unless it's something that's completely out there that we need to be considering. For example, there's a massive relief effort that we want to be a part of. We might look into that, but that might also come from the 10% that we put aside to help people. So that is just letting you know some of the goals that we've got. And right now, the main thing is that we want to get up to about 2,000 a week. We are looking at maybe once a month, just to give you an update on how our finances are going as a church. Right now, it's extremely healthy. We're averaging just under 2,000 a month, 1,900 to 2,000, and we've got 22,000 in the bank, of which we'll be spending a fair chunk on our pop-up carnival. So letting you know that. Cool. Finally, the last thing that we wanted you to know as a goal for our church, I know you can't read the word, I'm really sorry, but we want to talk a little bit about community engagement. Right now, our focus on community engagement is to get the name of Lift Church out into the community. That's our real key focus. So there are sometimes events that churches run that is purposed to bring salvations and to get people responding to the gospel and all that. We're not at that phase yet. We're probably more churning up the ground and getting things ready for people to receive the gospel. So like our Father's Day, for us it was a really key win when someone from the community wrote on our Facebook page, and you guys all know about that, and that was really fantastic. That's a really key thing for us. That is exactly kicking a goal that we want to see with community engagement. So this year we've got 2 more big events coming up. One's the pop-up carnival, and the other one is a Christmas. Yay! I think we're calling it Christmas on the Green.
Yeah, we're not sure.
We're still working on that.
Yeah, we'll throw it open soon.
But just talking about the pop-up carnival for now, one of the key goals that we've set for that is that we want to see 100 people come to our carnival each time. Yeah. So we're running 3 days of that pop-up carnival as the 3rd, 4th and the 10th of October. Each one of them we want to see at least 100 people come. Especially on that Sunday, we are looking at making a bit more picnicky. We're getting like an ice cream van.
Yes.
We're getting an ice cream van to come through.
Let's go with you.
And
you said the 3rd, the 4th and the 10th
of October.
Yeah.
So we will be starting
for an hour and a half.
Yeah, we will be starting sign-ups to help out the Saturdays especially, because it'll be good fun. So more info will be flying out about that, but we want to see 100 people at each one of these 3 events. And another side goal for that one is to see 2 or more, hopefully more, believing for more, but we're setting a goal of 2 families to come check out our Sunday experience from coming to our pop-up carnival. So that is one of the little links. We're not expecting like our church to triple overnight because of the pop-up carnival. We understand that it is a bit of a slow process, but God can do whatever God wants to do. We completely believe that. But at the same time, we don't want to be living in the clouds. We know how tough this gig can be. So does that make sense? Like we are setting for 2 families, and yeah, that's really what we want to see. The Christmas picnic will be another event to really get the name out and to just interact with people from the community. Get yourself ready for it. What we're planning is that we're going to be closing our Sunday morning down on December the 13th.
Yeah.
And that evening we'll be hiring out Repark. We'll be having live entertainment, a few food stalls, and just a great opportunity for the community to come out, have a bit of a dinner on the green, and for us to just go around and meet people and to love on them. That's not what we're going to be telling them, definitely. Come and be loved on. Sounds completely Christian and weird. But yeah, that would be a good one to get the word out. And look, I don't mind if it's a ton of your family from everywhere coming. If that's a great event for your family to come together for, we love that. And just to gather around and have a great atmosphere, celebrate Christmas, celebrate family, but also give us a great opportunity to touch base with people from our community. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but the family that came for our Father's Day challenge, I sent her pictures that Daniel took of that morning that had her. Actually, we took none of the boy, but Celeste was in like the I think he was just running away. And I sent it to her and said, "Hey, we've got a pop-up carnival coming," and she said, "Oh, we will definitely be there. We love that there's stuff happening right on our doorstep." And so they're really loving it. And we're really, really excited that there's going to be tons of these stories coming out over the next few months as we touch base with our community. One of the key things with just the whole community thing is that one of the strengths of Vic Park is that it really feels like it wants to be a family. That's something that the council, is it called the council? Yeah, the city council, the politicians that we catch up with and other people, just a sense of community that people really feel. And so we really want to tap into that and show them that the church is the best at being a community. And so I love that during the Father's Day challenge we didn't have to push people to be doing that. It was something that was already naturally happening. But let's get more and more ready for this. You know, this huddle is nice and it's great and we love each and every one of you guys, but this is not what God called us to. This is only half, maybe even less of the story. God really wants us to reach out to the community. And so that's some of our crew goals. I hope that you guys can remember it. Let's just run through them really quickly. When it comes to people leaving encouraged when they come, what is the key measure for that? Stories, amazing. You guys have got it. On it. People getting connected and loved.
Stories.
No, not stories. It's visitors coming back. So they are connected, they love it, so they come back. Alright, so be on the watch out for people that come the second time, the third time, the fourth time. At this point, it's like, because everything's so new, you can kind of forget that some people have not been around for ages. Like for me, Nathan and Michelle feel like they're already part of the family. They've been around for like 2 weeks. And I love that they've jumped right in and all of that. But that's not going to be the case for everyone. And from our point of view, it's like, you've been on the journey tons. But no, we need to get them connected and make sure that they feel like they are welcome and comfortable to come back. Cool. Next one is decisions and responses to salvation. What's the key measure?
Jesus.
What?
Baptism. Baptisms, fantastic. But also, we will be talking about hands raised and stuff like that. Cool. Assimilating new people. The city, absolutely. When do we want them to be signed up by?
Second week.
Second week.
Most time it is the third week they're part of the church.
By the third week, they're already in. They're part of the crew. Alright, fourth one is lift groups. What is the goal? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
February.
Yeah, February. Yeah, you guys have kind of got it.
They're just throwing
And
it.
finances, alright, we talked about the rest. That's all G, all good. Alright. It's 2G?
Yeah,
It's 4G. 2G week. Alright, so what we wanted to do now is, if you're on YouTube, this is a great time for you to pray, and we'll catch you in a moment.
Bye.
But before we finish tonight, Just wanted to share just a little bit more of a heart-to-heart message, which take literally 2 minutes, but Beck and I are really honoured to lead you guys. You guys are fantastic, and we really, really love that God's brought so many different people from really different backgrounds to be a part of this team, and we're like, wow, this is amazing. We didn't know what it was going to be like when we started the journey, and if we had the ability to see who we were going to have, we would not have worried at all, because you guys are fantastic and we love it. And tonight, just wanted to really quickly share one aspect of the journey that we're on. And last week I shared about managing tensions and how it's not always about solving problems. That's online if you want to listen to that teaching. But one of the tensions that we have to manage in this church is that we are trying to make sure that we are accommodating each and every person that is on your journey versus needing to also get everyone aligned to the one vision that we have got for this church. And that's not always easy. That sometimes really comes to conflict. But we do know that this is a tension that we want to manage rather than try to solve a problem. And so while we want to be super flexible with you guys, we know that family issues happen, and we know that things pop up that you need to handle, and that's all really good and well. But at the same time, if we just leave that alone completely, sometimes it means that we have got no idea whether we're going to be able to do the things that we feel God's called us to do as a church together in unity. And so Beck and I were just really praying through this a little bit and talking through this, and we don't want to go to the extent where we are demanding that you do certain things for Lift. We don't want to go to that kind of a level. We are not dictators, we are not your drill sergeants or anything like that. We would rather operate more on a family side of things, where it's in this season it's available for us. When we get to a few hundred people, that's going to be really taken away, and but we really want to maximize a season where we can operate more as a family. So with that, we want you to understand that there are responsibilities that we have to undertake in order to make Lift happen. And I kind of gone off my notes, so I have no idea where I am right now. But so we really need to depend on one another for this responsibility to happen. So what we're asking for is that on Sundays we need to have a sense of who's coming and what's happening, because we want you to know that each person really, really matters. In this season where we've got a team of 40 people, every person does matter. If you like stats, if a couple of people aren't there, that's something like 5%. And on Sunday, what happened was that we had 25% of our people not actually there on a Sunday. And then on top of that, and don't hear, I'm not angry. I've done my time with God. Let it. And we had a whole bunch of people late as well, which really at the start of the day, as the pastor and preacher, I had no idea whether we were going to get more than 20 people into the church building, and it was a bit of what are we doing? Is this the beginning of the end? And I don't like showing any panic on Sunday, and I don't know if I did, and this is not panic either, because things worked out really well. We had 40 people, and God was moving, and it was all fantastic. I guess we achieved all that we needed to achieve. But in this season, before we solidify setup teams and certain teams and all that kind of stuff, we just want to rely a bit more on a family trust honor system, where if you can't be there, if you can let Beck or myself know, so that we can kind of accommodate for that and make sure that those things are happening. So don't hear that we're angry at all. Rather, I would like you to hear that you are really important. You are so important that we need to just know whether we're going to be there, because if you're not there, we will ring people in just to make sure that we are covered. No, I'm joking. I'm hoping that is coming through. Because at the same time, in this current season that we are in, there is a big load. We don't want to shy away from the fact that as a church plant, there is a load for every person to help carry. And so when you're not there, you are important, and someone else will have to take on that load that you were supposed to be carrying. And we don't want to allow the enemy to come in and start to really affect us. Because I've seen it before where people start to go, oh, I'm the only one that does everything around here, or like that person never does anything, but they're still kind of treated the same way, and all that kind of attitudes that the enemy can kind of try to weasel into our hearts. And so if we know that people can't be there, or if they if you're going to be late for whatever reason, at least we can make sure that the talk that is coming out of our mouths is not going to allow that kind of disunity to come through. And that's really the purpose of me sharing this, and for you to know that you are important, and that when you are there on a Sunday, we are encouraged and we love it. We don't want to make it sound like you've signed your life away, because that's not the deal. No one's done that. But we also want you to know that if you're not there, it does affect everyone else. And it's just the way that families work. Imagine if mum goes away for like a week, everyone feels it. And that's kind of how it is right now. If any one of us can't be there, and I know that there are things that happen and all that kind of stuff, but you are important. That's the main message that's coming through, and every other person is also so important. And so we just want to guard our hearts, and we want to guard what God's doing here. And we will start to need to become a little bit more on the professional side rather than on the family side. We acknowledge that, but let's enjoy family while we can, and let's not abuse it. Not that anyone has. And yeah, is that clear? Because I'm trying to make sure that no one's hearing that I'm angry, because I'm not. I really am not. Except for no one. I'm not angry at anyone at all. Alright, pausing. No, not pausing. Stopping this.